I'm really excited to hear more about this. I'm gonna kind of take the devil's advocate, so I'm gonna ask some questions.
Okay.
Let's start off with kind of explaining to our audience and everybody that hasn't had a time to read about it, what you guys are trying to accomplish and what is the main drive.
Well, it's a couple of people coming off of the Bernie 2016 campaign and a lot of volunteers that we identified that throughout the campaign that were dedicated and we're asking the question, what next? We are saying, okay, we don't have the silver bullet, but this is part of the solution. We all know Congress is dysfunctional. We all know the impact that it has on our lives. So, and nothing can get done because nothing can move through Congress. So we're focusing on that. And we have a crazy idea. It's pretty simple. One plan, one campaign, it's basically occupying Congress, 535 seats. It's not a revolt where we're going to throw everybody out, but we want to bring, a lot of people came together because of the Bernie platform, and we want to make sure that we have representation that adequately reflects that. So we're going to try to achieve a couple of things. Women are underrepresented. People of color are underrepresented in Congress. We can help achieve racial and uh, gender parity in Congress. So this is something we're trying to put together using the grassroots power. We saw what it could do. We saw the energy and the passion and the talents and skills that it brought. So we're taking some of that and putting it together and creating this new project that we hope everybody will get on board with. We simply need a honest, accountable Congress, as we say on the website. Things have gotten to the point where, we're frustrated. We've seen a lot of things during the campaign that we know we need to fix. And our campaigns and how they operate are one of them. So,
Hmm. Now, see, there's nothing there that I even have a question about. I'm in 100% full agreement with what you said.
well,
Um,
good.
Let me
But,
ask you. Oh, no, no, there is no but. It's just moving on to the
oh,
next question.
good. Yay. Yay.
Yeah, there's no but there. What I want to know is, so is this gonna align with a particular party? Or are you gonna be challenging, Democrats and Republicans alike? What is the strategy moving forward as like your first ground step or the people who you're targeting to replace?
Well, we have the Bernie platform, and we see how that platform not only it was a progressive platform, but as we can see through polling, a lot of Americans on either side of the aisle actually agree with progressive policy. It's just that we've had that word vilified in the public sphere, and so it has these connotations that it's a ultra far left, policy that's not fiscally conservative or there'll be all these other excuses for it. Anyone who is willing to align, we've got a platform that Bernie has laid out through his campaign that gives us a template. We're asking, we don't really care, and we are not aligning with any party. Um, this is this is the Get Right campaign. It is time for folks to get right, and there is just the reality that in districts that are heavily gerrymandered and conservative, that there may not even be, you may not be able to run a Democrat in that district, but you may have Republicans because, believe it or not, people, I know it's very hard for some progressives and people on the left to understand, but there are some conservatives who do agree with progressive policy. They do want immigration reform. They do want to address inequality with poverty and creating jobs. And there are ways. There are some who believe in climate change, but they are just as trapped and battling the same system that we are. So we are actually debating that and fleshing that out. Nothing's really firm, but we have to face some realities about the political landscape across the country. One of the things we'll try to do is identify candidates, you know, We want people who have not been inside the system, people who have shown that they have some backbone. They may not have political experience. Actually, we prefer that. But those who know they can make a difference and they want to run and they know that they want to make change in this political sphere. So this what we are creating is a platform for candidates to run under, to allow candidates to do what they do best. Right now candidates are caught in that hamster wheel of raising money, in order to, you can't run for this race unless you have X amount millions. So you're constantly on the phones and you're hustling for that dollar, and you're using tactics that aren't really getting your platform across. You're just winning a race, and we're getting screwed. We're getting bad people making bad policy because they're not in it for me. You're in there for the hustle.
Mm-hmm.
And we've reached a tipping point. So, I guess some people will see it as some sort of, progressive Tea Party, but this is people from all sides. We've seen people, independents, conservatives, and progressives resonate to Bernie's message and say, yeah, we can get in on this and get, something going. So we're going to see what happens. Democrats, we're just kind of like, it's not like you didn't see this coming. We asked you nicely. So, I mean, if you want it, you got to fight for it. This is Sparta, baby. You want our votes? You need to come get them.
So I think what you're talking about is very important because I think it kind of gets people out of the cult of personality. We already know how that can be used to people to
Mm-hmm.
kind of glaze people's eyes over and make them, not see the ugly truth. Like you said, when these individuals are in office and they're really fundraising most of the time and they're just kind of just trying to get those dollars to keep coming in, and there's a lot of people that have come to them and maybe their child can go and get into Harvard without the grades. Maybe their child will get a job, working for some company, making a large sum of money and not have to do anything. Maybe when they leave Congress, they'll be taken into one of these companies as a consultant or something, and they'll get their payday based off of their service to those companies while they're in office. And I think that as of right now, we all have to confront that whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, the game is the game, and this is what's being played.
Right.
And the label shouldn't necessarily protect somebody from the public scrutiny about this. So I'm really 100% glad that you guys are really pushing the platform and not someone's personality. And I think that's kind of where politics kind of gets a little hairy. People get stuck in the personality and not necessarily the policy aspect. So this is really, really, really good.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. We want to avoid that. We actually are looking for everyday people. If we want Congress to be able to understand our interests and what most Americans are going through, it needs to represent us. So we are looking for people who are leaders in their community who are ready to take that leap. But we're also building a support team behind them because we recognize, yeah, a lot of people have worked on campaigns or have done this type of work before, and we recognize that candidates are often left out in the wind, and they can win. Alex Law is showing how you can win with
Mm-hmm.
very little money by really maximizing your resources and planning. But you have to have support behind them, and we talk. A lot of us, we can tell you war stories of candidates who have run for office, and it's basically, once they qualify, it's like, okay, well, go forth and prosper. But, people are stepping up and saying, toys ain't us. We ain't playing. And
So, Stacey,
we being the change.